Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Marc Drucker Show, brought to you by the Drucker Hypnosis Center, helping you transform your life. You can find us on the web at www.mdhypno.com. Marc is a certified hypnotist and a certified instructor. He is a problem solver, and he can help you with problems like anxiety and stress, panic attack, fears and phobias, social issues, depression, moody behavior, breaking bad habits, all kinds of things that can get in the way of everyday life. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Marc Drucker.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Pete, the producer of cybernet.com. Hello everybody out there. Welcome to the Marc Drucker Hypnosis Show Extravaganza. This week we have a very special show set up. This show today, I have a guest who's like a mom, the mom everyone would want to have. This guest is a client, a recent former client of mine who volunteered to come on, who volunteered to talk about her experience. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ruthie to the show. Hi, Ruthie.
Hi, everybody.
Hello out there. Pete, say hi.
Hey, Ruthie. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. This is wonderful.
So, Ruthie, I introduced you as the mother that everyone would want. Because you're such a sweet, maternal, kind person.
Aw, thank you so much.
When I first met you, I called you by the name on the paper, which was Ruth.
Uh-huh.
But as you referred to yourself as Ruthie throughout our sessions, and as I got to know you and got closer to you, calling you Ruth just didn't seem right. It had to be Ruthie, because it's so much warmer, and you're so warm.
You know, my grandma's name was Ruthie, and that's what we called her, Ruthie.
Nice.
Yeah, in fact, my daughter, her middle name is named after her, Ruth.
Aww.
Yeah, so.
I call this segment, by the way, Pete, this is the Book of Ruth segment. So
nice.
Yeah.
Definitely a biblical name.
Yeah. So, Ruth, why don't you, let's take it from the top. Why don't you share with our audience what was going on before we met, before you called, what led you to call the Drucker Hypnosis Center in the first place?
Okay, I'm a woman I just turned 68 Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I've been suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder and a fear of being alone and a fear of traveling, of flying, and panic attacks. And it came to a point in my life that my husband didn't want to travel with me and my son didn't want to go. So I got the courage up. I was kind of nervous to be hypnotized, but I just went. And lo and behold, I met Marc, who is wonderful. He calmed me down, very relaxed in his office. He really has such a heart of gold. He sits you down, and he really gets to know you before he even starts anything. And he helped me tremendously. He helped me to get rid of the post-traumatic stress disorder, which was almost crippling me. He helped me get rid of the anxiety attacks, which was like, it almost felt like a stabbing knife in my chest that was twisting every time I'd be afraid of something. That went away completely. And also, I am extremely proud that I have flown for the first time in my life at 68 years old. I've always wanted to fly. I never had the courage. And working with Marc, I got the courage. And I went with my daughter, and we were laughing all the way through the whole flight. We couldn't believe it. We felt like two little girls on a beautiful ride. It was terrific. It's like a dream.
I got to tell you, Ruthie, when we were done and we finished our sessions and you did great and you were out there living your life, and when I got that phone call from you a month or so later, you told me that I never in my life, thought like you were 67. Well, your age. I don't like to. At your age, you've never flown. I was like, how you know, I knew that you'd be able to do a lot. I was proud of everything that you were able to overcome. But oh my God, for the first time in your life, you didn't wait it out. You didn't say next year, next year, next year. It was so pleasing to me. It made my life that you were able to that you flew. Because tell our listening audience out there, tell our friends out there in listening land, how you used to get around. Because your family in Florida.
I
right?
have my daughter and my grandchildren in Florida, and I used to take Amtrak down, which was a terrible. I mean, to me, it was a terrible ride because I have arthritis, and to sit in the little cot they gave you to sleep on, I would be in pain all night. And it took 26 hours to get down there. And by the time you got off the train, you were exhausted. You needed like a whole day just to relax. So
it's a big change. I remember
definitely
you've flown with you took the train once to Florida with your son. Is that right?
Yes, and he was very uncomfortable. We were in a very tiny sleeper, and it was I can't explain how uncomfortable it was.
Let me ask Pete. Thank you, Ruth. Let me ask Pete. Pete, do you think if you want to take a trip to Florida to visit family, friends, or just get away, would you get on a train and sit for 26 hours?
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, in one aspect, as like a fun experience, and never doing that, I could see doing that. But as a person who's, I don't do a ton of traveling, but for the traveling that I have done, and when it's far enough away, I'd much rather fly. Of course, it's, you're there the same day. You have plenty of energy. It's a couple of hours versus 26 hours.
Right. And well, as Dr. Sheldon Cooper, my friend from the Big Bang Theory, points out that he's a train enthusiast, and they're classic trains with great food carts and beautiful mahogany wood. So Ruthie, has train travel changed? You've been traveling for a long time on the train, for decades.
I've been traveling about maybe 15 years on the train.
Have they gotten better or worse, and how
it's
so?
It's gotten worse. They've cut back on a lot of the accommodations. They took off the food car that used to give us hot food at night, the dining car. And they just left like a snack bar. We would eat frozen hamburgers or hot dogs. That was your choice. That's all you had.
For 26 hours.
Yeah, it was horrendous. And the bed felt like a cot with all the springs sticking in your back. Ugh. It was horrible.
Well,
it's not like when you see a James Bond movie when he's on the train and he's sitting on the dining car and it's with the lady, and it's all beautiful, and they have the martinis and the whole thing, right? It's not like that anymore.
No, it's not like the classic movies where they're on a train and it's gorgeous. It's 26 hours of misery versus 2 hours in the air and you're with the palm trees.
I just would like to say one thing. I've known Marc now for quite a while, and we've done a lot of shows, and we do a lot of work on his website. And I've gotten to know him. I really like him a lot. And I will tell you, Ruth, talking to you, though, brings the whole thing full circle for me. Because,
wonderful.
Because it's so nice to hear somebody that, we talk about Marc's program and the hypnosis and his proprietary way of doing things. And we always talk about it on the show, but it's so nice to hear you, a real person that had all these, which I'm going to call, they're disabilities. They are,
definitely they were.
They get in the way of your life, and it's so nice to hear and talk to somebody who Marc has really changed their lives, and I don't know you, but I'm so happy for you, just talking to you and hearing that all these things, you've gotten control of it. So I want to tell you something, and I don't know you, but congratulations, and I'm proud of you, because it's not easy, but you had the will, and Marc showed you the way, and I think that's just awesome. So I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you so much. To me, it's such a miracle, because I've always wanted to fly, and I never had the courage for all those years. And to me, it's like a miracle. It's like, you wish for something, and then all of a sudden a miracle comes. That's how I felt.
Well,
like
you
a
earned
miracle.
It.
I had
you
no
earned
fear
it.
at all on the plane. I was laughing. I watched a movie. There was so much room on the plane. They came around with snacks. I mean, I felt like a queen. I was so beautiful. And I said, look what I've been missing for 67 years.
It's great.
So, by the way, I just want to wish you myself a happy birthday, Ruthie.
Oh, thank you.
So now that your birthday is here, we have a whole new year coming up for you.
Uh-huh.
What are your any plans for the future?
Yes, I want to come back. I want to lose weight. And I got a couple of other things on priority.
What are some of the fun things? What are some of the fun things you got planned? Because I know there were so many things you wanted to do and never did. And now that you're somewhat, I guess, liberated,
yeah.
What are some of the things that in your bucket list that you hope to get done?
Well, I want to learn to swim. That I've always wanted to all my life. It looks so beautiful to get in the water and just enjoy yourself and swim. I like to learn ballroom dancing because it looks so lovely and so romantic. There's so many things. Maybe learn to ice skate and roller skate, ride a bike. There's so many different things. I feel like I'm not afraid no more. I feel like I'm good enough to do it. And that's what Marc worked with me, with my personality, improving my inferior complex. And I feel like I could do anything I wanted to do in my life right now at this moment.
That's great. And before?
I was afraid. I'd be terrified. I would always have to have someone with me to protect me, to take care of me. Now I know I don't need anybody. I could just go by myself, get on the plane, and fly anywhere I want. And to me, it gives me such a feeling of independence to know that I could do this. And I would highly recommend this for anybody, any age. If you have any difficulties in your life, go. Don't wait. Just go and get it done, because your whole life will be transformed.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be. It will be.
Thank you, Ruthie. Thank you, Ruthie. That's so sweet.
It's my pleasure.
Oh, and by the way, thank you for on behalf of my mom, on behalf of Mother Drucker. She's been on the show before. She's a character. She sends her regards. She couldn't be on the show.
Tell her I said my regards too.
Okay, and the whole world knows that now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm so proud of you, Ruthie. You epitomize why I do what I do. You are a shining star, and you're living your life. It's Imagine if we met when you were in your 20s instead of.
I would have done everything I've always wanted, to travel the world, to get on a cruise ship. I missed out on so much because of being afraid to be hypnotized, which is totally ridiculous.
Well, you still can.
You know what they say, right? Life begins at 67.
Right, and I'm telling you, to be hypnotized is so much fun. You're wide awake. You're totally awake, and all you're doing is listening to some soft music, and Marc talking to you very softly, and before you know it, the session's over with, and you're coming home like you're in another world, like a fairyland, that everything's so beautiful around you.
That's a wonderful description. You did a lot of talking in the sessions because they were interactive. So you were really, you may not have realized it, but you were doing the heavy lifting.
Oh, thank you.
Ruthie, by the way, the ballroom dance class, If you if your husband isn't up for it, I would love to take some ballroom dance classes with you.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It's something I always wanted to learn. So, but I need your I would need your husband's permission first.
Okay.
Or your husband gets first dibs because
he's your husband.
Okay.
Because she's your
He's your man.
I'm not calling dibs. Your husband gets first crack at Dan. Well, our show is coming to an end for today.
Okay.
So, Ruthie, I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show. You are why I do what I do. I'm just going to let the world reiterate that at the Drucker Hypnosis Center, I'm Marc Drucker, the Chief Certified Hypnotist at the Hypnosis Center. We specialize in exactly the stuff that Ruthie was talking about, helping people with anxiety,
Yes.
with panic attacks, with fears, with phobias, with post-traumatic stress, with self-esteem, and get them living the life they want to live. And Ruthie, you're amazing.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to do it. Just go ahead and do it, and you'll have the life that you've always dreamed of. It would be it's just like a miracle. You wouldn't believe the beautiful life you'll have. So just go and do it, and just don't be afraid. Just go ahead and do it.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Ruthie. Now I'm going to pass the mic on to producer Pete, the
producer. Come on.
Pete the producer, the best web designer, search engine optimization, social media, and my podcast producer.
Okay.
Ruthie, thank you so much.
It's my
Your
pleasure,
story was
and
very.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You're a very inspiring person. Thank you.
Thank you kindly.
You have a good night. Take care. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the show. It's the Marc Drucker Show. www.mdhypno.com. Find us on the web. Do a Google search for Marc Drucker. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can find. This stuff can really change your life. Thank you so much.
Bye, friends.